Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Colin McGuigan for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined by Ben Shalom. Ben, actually, first of all, we're both sponsored by the same person, that prize guy. So just a little, to start the interview, just a little plug to that prize guy and what they're doing at Boxer right now and the partnership that you have with him.
Yeah, came through you, and I know he's a great guy. And look, I hadn't heard of them, but my family, my mum's from Belfast, so all my family over there, when they saw we announced prize guy, I got a lot of messages. I mean, they're massive over there, aren't they? But I imagine they're getting big around the UK as well. And no, just a young entrepreneur with a fantastic business, and it seems like people really trust it. And yeah, fantastic to have them on board.
Obviously, a partner with Boxer, and we'll talk about Boxer's show this weekend, first of all, in Barnsley. How hard was it for you to make the decision that obviously Martin Bakole's in a massive fight over here in LA, and business side of things, you probably had to be here for him? How hard was it to say that I'm not going to be in Barnsley for CALLUM Simpson?
Oh, it's terrible. I'm still thinking about whether I go back. You know what? Obviously, the world's changing, boxing's changing, and this is a historic event. And obviously, grateful for His Excellency and Turkey Al Sheikh and everything that they've done, particularly for Martin, but on plenty of other fights. And I think it's moving so quickly. There's so many fights being made. It's almost for my own stable and for the fights that are being made in the future as well. I think it was very important that I was here supporting, obviously, Martin in a huge fight, but supporting the event as well. And yeah, delighted to be here. Honestly, amazing event. But obviously gutted, absolutely gutted to not be in Barnsley on Saturday. And to be honest, we did the media day on Monday because, you know, for me, it's a very special event. CALLUM Simpson's someone that we've grown, built, and now to do his stadium and sell 7,000 tickets is pretty incredible feat. And then Caroline Dubois on there as well, and it's great to see her back. So, yeah, gutted not to be there, but I'm with them. I'll be watching. I'll be speaking to all the fighters before Saturday, and I hope they can forgive me because I know it's not. I know a couple of them will be disappointed that I'm not there, but we have a massive team and a great team, and the hard work's done now. They just got to go out there and perform, and yeah, it's a great main event. And sorry to miss it. Sorry to miss the atmosphere as well.
Just a quick one on CALLUM Simpson. What's the, I don't want to look past XLE, but what's next for CALLUM Simpson? And when you look at, you know, the opportunities, and particularly you being over here, is there anything that you have your eye on for CALLUM Simpson next?
You can't buy, as you said, I can't look past, and he can't look past Zach Chell. Zach Chell's been with us for a long time as well. He knows what it's like. It's business. CALLUM Simpson has a ridiculous support. And, you know, we talk about different fighters and how many tickets they sell and the ones coming through. We talk about Johnny Fisher a lot. This guy's just done 7,000 tickets in his first chance at doing so in his hometown. He could have done 10. He could have done 15, I believe. They sold out in 48 hours. But this fight, I've not seen the odds, but I'd say Zach Chell is probably the slight favourite. We've not seen CALLUM in a test like this. He wanted the big moment, and to be a big moment, you need a big fight. Zach had the British and Commonwealth title after beating Jack Cullen really, really well after a disappointing defeat against Mark Jeffers. But it's a 50-50, and for both of them to headline, get this opportunity, it's a big night. And to look ahead on either of them is just ridiculous for me. I think they come past British level after this one. I think you'd be looking at the international world route for both of them if they win. But yeah, for me, it's a really tough night for both of them. Both supremely confident, and that division is a good division. But I think domestically, you've got probably Mark Jeffers, CALLUM, Zach. Heffron's probably coming out of there now, but there's not too much. I think you've got to look at the European world level for them both after this. But yeah, for me, the two top boys going head to head.
Quick one on Caroline Dubois. A lot's been said before, and I've interviewed Beatrice Ferreira and her team plenty of times, and they're always saying we want Caroline Dubois. Caroline's committed that she wants it. You've never really been able to make that between yourselves and Matchroom, but in terms of making that fight, Ben, I'll put it to you. I think there's no better time of Beatrice coming just out of the Olympics. If Caroline Dubois wants that fight, surely this is the time to try and make it. Is that something that you'd like to do?
It is. Look, let's be honest. Beatrice Ferreira and Caroline Dubois are probably the two standout in the division. Katie Taylor aside, because I don't think she'll ever box there again. I think they are. And for Caroline, look, she's just starting a career. She's 23 years old. That's a fight that she wants. Rhiannon Dixon was the initial order. That was a fight that we thought was going to happen. We actually agreed terms on that fight, and then it just disappeared. And so for me, it was just important to get Caroline back, get her as close to a title as we could. It's the interim WBC title. Katie Taylor will be faced with the situation of vacating or fighting Caroline. But that's a big fight, and I'm sure it will happen. I think Beatrice is in Paris. Yeah. And so I expect the Rhiannon Dixon fight to happen first, and then that's the one that I expect to happen after that. But it's exciting for Caroline, and she's desperate now for the big fights.
I want to talk a little bit about, obviously, Martin Bakole, what you're here for. Eddie's been quite complimentary of Eddie Hearn, that is, of Martin Bakole, and saying that he believes that this is maybe a step too far for Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson bit back at Eddie Hearn yesterday on that. What did you make of that exchange?
Look, Jared's the #1 US heavyweight prospect, and after Wilder, he's probably looking at that mantle, and so it's a huge fight. It's a huge fight for boxing. It's a crazy fight. I've said it a few times, but it's a fight that never happens. That's a fight that's just that in normal boxing terms just never happens. Turkey's put it together. It's an unbelievable fight for both of them. I think Jared wins, and he's in the top 5 around the world. That's a huge statement. And so I think that's why everyone's a bit on the Jared side, is like, this could be a step too far. Martin Bakole is a problem for anyone. If he fights Anthony Joshua, if he fights Tyson Fury, if he fights Alexander Usyk, he's a tough fight. And outside of those 2 or 3, probably fancies it against everyone. And so it's a really, really tough fight. Obviously, everything will be stacked in Jared's favour. It's 10 rounds, which I think is designed for a reason. It should be a 12-round fight. All four judges are going to be American because there's no real title on the line. Martin's going to have to do a business, and he's going to have to start quick. And yeah, of course, a lot of people are talking about that fight. But I think it's because of what's at stake. I think it is a 50-50 fight. I believe Martin's going to win. But it's what's at stake for Jared Anderson, because usually someone at his stage of his career is not taking a gamble like this against the bogeyman, against the guy that genuinely no one wants to fight. I know people make a joke of it, and it is funny, but he's genuinely seriously good, and I'm hoping he'll show that on Saturday.
What was the discussion around it becoming 10 rounds? How did that come about? Were you against that? Because obviously, like you said, Billy Nelson said in my interview the other day that Martin Bakole is the chairman of the Who Needs Me Club, and right now everything's stacked against him. As you say, the judges, the 4 US judges, and that's just like factual information. Then you're saying 10 rounds. Martin, might start a little bit slower, gives him less time to get the work done. Did you fight against that?
Look, it's hard, and I have to say, when you're presented an opportunity like this, great money, great fight, you don't have much, and in Martin's position, there's not much we can say. Of course, it should be 12 rounds. Of course, probably shouldn't be 4 American judges. But, we're just grateful to get this opportunity. And I believe Martin's going to do it emphatically. And hopefully it won't matter. But, yeah, strange to be fighting at his level now at 10 rounds for a fight like this. But he's going to have to do it. And, look, if he has an opportunity, he defeats Jared Anderson, the world is his oyster. And the fights that he'll get and will get after that are incredible. And it's just too good an opportunity to turn down. And, may the best man win.
A couple more from me before I let you go. I know you're a busy man. There's been a lot said between yourself, from Liam Smith about you. There's been no real, comeback on it. I have to ask, I've asked Eddie this week, I've asked Frank Smith this week about it. They've told me, the one person that you need to ask is Ben Shalom. Ben, what is the situation with Liam Smith, and why is there that animosity between you and him?
Look, I said on Monday with Coogan, obviously disappointed in the sense like we had 3 big fights together, 2 massive fights, and but listen, I'm not going to say anything bad about anyone, never mind the Smith family and Liam. I've got a lot of respect, and I said that on Monday, and I wish him all the best against Josh Kelly, and I think hopefully he can roll back the years and put in a big performance.
Last one from me. you and Frank Smith have had a lot of back and forth over the past maybe year. Then it went away for a little bit. It came back again. What's the situation with you and Frank Smith, and why is there that I don't know, bitterness between you? Because it's from the outside, there's no one really knows why. Can you give us a bit of an idea?
I thought it had gone away when we did the Tyler Denny fight. Everyone seemed to get on, and everything was. And then as soon as we've signed Eubank, literally, we announced that. And I appreciate. Look, I appreciate. Everyone wanted to sign Eubank Jr. And I'm not even going to say anything about. I don't care. We did it for our business, and we see a lot of potential in Eubank Jr. as every promoter did, and anyone that didn't sign him was going to be upset. So all I can put it down to is since we've signed that, and it's literally on the second, he's gone off, and yeah, I don't even know what to say, and yeah, I thought we were past it, but I don't really care.
You mentioned Eubank Jr. there. I want to ask you about Canelo. When I asked Eddie about the Canelo Berlanga fight being made, he believed that Eubank Jr. was used as like a pawn in that. That's how he phrased it. What actually happened that fight wasn't made, Ben?
Look, to be honest, we had proper offers, and it was back and forth, and they were coming on to us. I think it got late for us, and we actually said it got to a point where the money that was being offered at that time was not how Chris or even anyone in boxing would value the fight, and yeah, it was actually from Chris's side, and it never got to that valuation. But it will. I do believe that fight will happen. I think it's a massive fight. I think it's possibly Canelo's one chance, and not that he might not want to. This fight was always going to be in Vegas, but it could be his one chance to box in the UK as well, which for British fight fans would be huge. But yeah, massive fight, and I do believe it happened. I think Chris is confident it will happen at the right time.
What's next for Eubank Jr.? Obviously, a lot of people are talking maybe about the Conor Ben potential fight, but what's the names that you would like Chris Eubank Jr. in with next? Because everyone's kind of waiting now. It wasn't Canelo. Who's it going to be?
We've just decided. We've just signed. We've just agreed a deal. And
come on, give us the exclusive. Who's it with?
You know what? I can't because it's other parties involved and things like that. But
is it a US fighter, UK fighter? Is the fight going to be in the US, the UK?
Not doing it. But just delight. Look, Chris Eubank Jr. and we talked about it. Why someone might be upset. Chris Eubank Jr. is in the top 3 names, in my opinion, in the UK. Forget what boxing like. We're boxing purists. We love it. We follow it. Everyone's got an opinion. But it's one of the few fights that your mum knows, your girlfriend knows, the casual fans know.
I hope my bird doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might be in trouble, mate. He's a casual fan. He's a casual, friendly fan, and we need them in the sport. And I think we've got a few now, but Ben Whittaker coming through is crossing over like never before. But Chris Eubank Jr. is a huge name, and he's he's a standout pay-per-view star, and so he's carried pay-per-views by himself before. There's not many fighters that can do that, and yeah, delighted to have him, delighted to make some noise with him, delighted to make the big fights with him.
Let me push you.
Win a world title.
Let me push you a little bit on it, because people are going to be watching this, and in order to promote this fight, give us a short list of 3 names that it could be. Come on.
It can't happen. It can't.
Come on, Ben. Come on.
I can't.
What about the month? What month's it going to be?
You're looking end of September, early October.
UK or US? That's the final one. Come on.
No locations given. But, as I say, all will be revealed soon. He's been out of the ring since last September. And so I'm just looking forward to getting his career going. And hopefully he achieves what he wants to achieve.
Ben Shalom, pleasure. Thank you very much for your time, mate.
Cheers, brother.
Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.